Okay? But what I'm saying is, we can't get to that future unless any of us who have succumbed to, subscribe to it, are ready to have hard conversations about what the shit we believe in. And that's hard work. Let me tell you why it's hard. Because to say no to what has been a source of so many of our identities, you know what it felt like when I had to leave my church? It was a 10,000 member church. I was a central part of the ministry. When I left the church, I left all my friends. I left the very ground of my being, but I was like, I'm willing to do that if that means I'm gonna be alive at the end of this. Yeah? So I think I'll just end by saying, I had to leave the church to get away from the God that the folk who assumed power told me, and the God that they created for me, the God that hated me, the God that they said I was not a reflection of, the God who was sending me to hell, and I had to go on a search for my own. It's a hard, until all of us can sit here and say, okay, they use these same scriptures to tell my ancestors that they should, slave obey your masters. Until we really have faith-seeking understanding, which is this is what the theologians say. We have some dumbass faith. Shit won't change until we get thinking faith. God is not too small who can't handle our hard questions. If your God is that small, where you can't stand before your God and say, I'm angry, what? You really want to send me to the gas chamber? To an eternity of hell? When you got human beings that are fighting out here against the death penalty, we got more love than you supposed to have? Something wrong with that. But we won't get free unless we're able to have these conversations. But for you, none of that matters about who you are. You are God's created being. And you are the reflection of God. And whether or not anybody tells you that, I hope that you can walk free knowing that your life, your future, does not depend on anybody else telling you that you can have it, and that freedom is something you gotta fight for. Freedom is yours because it is yours.
I just realized we 3 church kids up here.
4.
Oh, we 4 church kids up here. And yes. And Billy's emotional. Darnell, I know you feeling it right now. And I listen, just real quick. I did a panel before this, and there was a young lady on the panel. I had a whole lot to say about Ta-Nehisi Coates and this article that he just wrote about Kamala Harris, where he was talking about her timidity on Gaza, and that's why she lost the election. That's not why she lost the election.
It is not.
She lost the election because she is a black woman with a vagina in her pants. That is why she lost the election. And I thought my other point was that we cannot have a conversation about any black presidential candidate without talking about how religion has a chokehold on American foreign policy, right? It all goes back to religion. It all goes back to the Bible. All of it does. And until we confront the Bible,
which is bullshit.
It is done to everybody in this room. Harm. But I was going to say, I was next to this woman in a panel and she started talking about Jesus Christ, and I was like, I can't say that because I didn't want to alienate her. And it wasn't the right time, and you're going to make her mad, and so I just didn't say it. But that was I don't think it's cowardice, but it's me trying to be respectful of other black folks. But I'm telling you right now, we got to confront the Bible. We got to confront these ministers who get up, and even if they don't shout our condemnation in church on Sunday mornings, they're quiet in the face of other people condemning us. We got to take it to them. The way we talk, the way we in the streets about Trumpism and Trump supporters, we got to be in the streets about the church, about the Bible. We are all victims of this. And it's not going to change until we confront it. And it's going to be a lot of like hard feelings or whatever, but we got to deal with it.
Okay, so I'm going to say something that applies to the church, but also just, you can take it. One of the things that I learned early on is that sometimes you have to leave what you love to get what you deserve. And that has been something I have always stuck to my entire life. If this ain't serving me, I gotta leave to go get what I deserve. Because as you said, freedom is ours. And we have to hold people accountable. That's what true allyship is. I don't want one person to walk out of this room and to go back into this world and not hold someone accountable. Anjanu, you said something that I thought was so beautiful that I'm going to end this with. She says, I do it so you know the truth. You showed up today because you know the truth. But somebody else out there needs to know the truth. And your voice and the story you tell is so important. So when you walk out this room, remember the tears, the questions, the stories. And if you hear something, you say something. If you notice something, you tell them. It is your job. It is your job. So I want you to turn to your neighbor and say, neighbor, I do it so you know the truth.
So you know the truth.
I want you all to give you a big round of applause.